Hey everybody, good morning from Siem Reap in Cambodia. Today we're going to give you guys our first impressions. It's our first day of exploring around this popular tourist destination. Probably what Cambodia is known best for is Angkor Wat. But today we're going to be in and around the local neighborhoods of Siem Reap. We're very excited. It's a city that we've quite literally never seen before, in a country that we have quite literally never seen before. Let's go and check out Siem Reap.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. So the guest house that we're staying in is called Mango Kesararam. I don't know how many rararams are in the rararam.
I think there's just one rum.
Yeah, one
Mango
rararam.
Kesaram.
But it's inside,
What
believe it or
Kesaram?
not, of Wat Kesaram. And we're going to show you that Wat right now. I figured it was a great way to sort of kickstart our adventure here in Siem Reap. It's a beautiful guest house, and this is a beautiful temple, but we haven't properly explored the temple. Sissadai! Hello! Some lovely kids over there. Cambodian kids are some of the nicest kids in the world.
It's so interesting how there are several sort of houses and properties on the grounds of one of these larger Wats. There's also so many doggies. Hello, doggy! Really cute. And yeah, we saw this morning or yesterday, no, I think it was yesterday evening, they had a very big important Buddha delivery here.
They had a Buddha shipment, that's for sure. They basically had a big pickup truck that drove in, and it had a long sort of like, I think it's like a 3-meter statue of Buddha, and they seem to have actually placed it here in front of this pagoda or this shrine. Let's have a look and see what it looks like.
We haven't seen the Buddha standing up yet, I believe, because we arrived yesterday really late in the evening and we haven't seen it yet. And wow, look at this! This is so beautiful. You can even see that they had the sort of the ceremony, and people are still working on it. This is really magnificent, especially also with the Nagas on both sides and then the elephants. And the big golden Buddha. Wow, this is truly beautiful.
Gorgeous.
We're staying sort of a little bit outside of, you know, as we always do. We're staying outside of the tourist zone. We're not in the main tourist part. So Wat Kesaram is sort of, I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes away from the main tourist area. Like the main tourist area of Siem Reap, I believe, is Pop Street, or like that part, like where the old market is. And yeah, we're staying a little bit outside of it, and it's beautiful though. I do appreciate sort of the local areas a little bit more than the tourist zones usually. Let's have a look around here. I don't actually know if you can go inside of the temple because the doors seem closed. Maybe you have to go during specific times, or maybe the weekend or something like that. I don't know. We haven't truly figured out yet how the opening times of temples work in Cambodia, but you can always sort of walk around on the grounds, on the outskirts of all of the temples, regardless of what time it is. Scary Naga. I find it so cool that the Nagas here are like colored in with green and red and gold and all of that jazz, instead of just being stone colored. In a lot of countries we see the Nagas being just stone colored, but here they're sort of colorful, which is really cute.
Yeah, the temples here are quite unique. So we've only been in Cambodia now for a short span of time. The temples here are very ornate, and the amount of detail that goes into them is just absolutely spectacular. I love it. You can tell that this here was quite literally painted onto the wall by hand. Probably took a considerable amount of time as well, and yeah, it is just something else. And yeah, it quite literally up here on the ceiling wraps the whole way around the temple and all along the walls too.
There's an open window, maybe we can play mouse.
Yeah.
And have a look.
And the temple grounds are just unbelievably peaceful as well. very dark on the inside, so you will not see much at all. But from what I can see, it's very beautiful. Extremely high ceilings as well on the inside, so I'm sure the chanting and the meditation is exceptional in there.
Yeah, and even the ceilings are painted in there too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think you cannot see it properly on camera.
No. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Siem Reap. This is a city that, like I said, probably attracts the majority of visitors to Cambodia, Siem Reap, Phnom Penh. But today we're hoping to show you guys something that you might not have seen of Siem Reap on YouTube so far. And I think this temple is a perfect kickoff point because, wow, it is quite literally jaw-droppingly beautiful. So, a lot of people were brutally executed, killed, murdered. Around 1.6 to 1.8 million people during the regime genocide that was committed by Pol Pot. Now here, inside of this temple, there is a stupa that is dedicated to some of the skulls and bones which are victims of the democratic Kampuchea regime. And it was a huge percentage of the population at the time. I think it was around 20% or so of the population of Cambodia that was quite literally wiped out. And inside here you can actually see some of the bones and human skulls, and I believe possibly some money as well, some donations on the inside from some of the people that might have deposited them inside of this stupa. It's a very, very interesting thing to see here in the middle of Siem Reap.
It looks a little bit like there are two little holes on the top,
yeah.
And it looks like people are putting the money in through there.
Ah, okay, yeah, so you feed money in the top.
Yeah, well, I believe if you want to donate to the temple, you can just do it in the donation box. But yeah, maybe it's kind of as a memorial. But I think it's very beautiful, like the way they put it together. It looks very nice.
Oh yeah, it's a gorgeous remembrance. I think there's plenty of museums and things that you can go and experience all over the country of Cambodia that will educate you more about these types of things, and we will be checking a lot of those out as well throughout our journey around Cambodia. This temple is absolutely beautiful. Well guys, we made our way inside of the royal residence here, and wow, a very well put together place, that's for sure. As you probably will know, a lot of the government residences and places of interest in cities that have to do with government are always going to be very well put together. Now we're going to show you this just sort of as a starting point, and we're also going to show you the inner workings of actual Siem Reap as well, just to show you if there is a contrast between this and the actual city itself where all of the locals are. Now there's basically nobody around here. There's a couple people over there that are lighting incense and stuff, and there's a small little market actually just over here with a load of sort of elderly women that are selling different bits and bobs. This place here is extremely clean and very well put together, that's for sure.
It's really, really nice. Some of the aunties though, they're selling like the birds. When you come out of the temple, you can buy a bird that has been encaged and then let it go for good karma basically. But a lot of times the same birds are caught again and again and again, and it's funny how that sort of creates economy just for good karma. So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, there's not much here going on. There's plenty of statues and stuff that we saw from the outside, so we figured we'd come inside and check them out. Other than that, you've got the residence itself, I believe, which is this here, and there's also another nice building just over there that we looked at, and the grounds themselves are probably the best kept place of Siem Reap, that's for sure. it's cool.
I'm kind of wondering if the king actually resides here or if he's staying in a different city.
Yeah.
If you have any information, please let us know. We don't know.
We know a couple other countries that have kings that are not living in the country that they're the king of. If you know which one it is, comment down below. Have a look at these statues.
Oh, they're made with so much detail.
Yeah, a lot of detail, a lot of work went into these. That's for sure. This guy looks like he's straight out of like Lord of the Rings. Looks like Legolas.
Asian Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Asian Legolas. Now the signs are in Khmer or Khmer, so we cannot read them. The gate is really what stands out here as well. There's a big, beautiful green and gold gates that are surrounding the residence. It's very opulent, very wealthy, very shishy, very ho-ho, and definitely where a lot of the money is, I think. But cool to see for a few seconds. To be honest, I want to get out of here and go and see where the locals are. So they're definitely not hanging around in here. Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes, Cambodian market.
Okay. Thank you.
You want Angkor Wat already?
No, it's all good.
Yes, go Angkor Wat, good price.
It's okay. Thank you.
So one of the first things that stands out when you come to Siem Reap is this.
Yes.
You are being approached by tuk-tuk drivers over and over and over, and they're not letting go either. I mean, he's very friendly, but he does not accept no for an answer. So, and if you don't want to go today, they ask if you want to go tomorrow or the day after.
This is why I'm saying to you guys, where the tourist stuff is, like that, I don't want to say bad things about it, but that residence that we were just in, all the way around there, it's surrounded by tuk-tuk drivers that are just harassing tourists. Tuk-tuk drivers around here will harass you, like to the point of within an inch of your life. It's just being honest. Now, something about Cambodia. Cambodia was heavily damaged economically by the pandemic, by the big scary flu that went around for a couple years. But here in particular, a lot of Siem Reap and a lot of this country were literally decimated in terms of the economy. People like that guy and his business and what he was involved in, a lot of what he was doing was completely destroyed, quite literally. So that's one part of it. That's like one side of the story. But then the other side of it is the way that they actually carry on and the way that they behave as well. Going on like that guy is, and just like basically he drove up to us and just would not leave us alone for like a solid 5 minutes. No matter how many times you say no, we're not going to get on a tuk-tuk if you don't want to get on a tuk-tuk. So just keep that in mind. It is a part of Siem Reap, and immediately in the first video from Siem Reap we just wanted to touch on that because we want to be as transparent as possible with you guys when it comes to this type of stuff. It's a pain in the ass. There's another one right now that's literally pulled up beside us as I'm talking about it. It's one of those situations where you just cannot avoid it, and no matter where you go, it's going to be there. So just keep that in mind about Siem Reap.
Sometimes, you know, the way like you just like to go for a walk to actually see the place, and it just kind of seems to be not possible here a little bit. But like again, we do understand the economical situation of it, but and that the people are suffering and how difficult it is. But if you're coming here as a tourist, you want to kind of see and have a look around and just like explore for yourself without having to say no every 2 minutes. So yeah, unfortunate side of it, but maybe if you guys are a tuk-tuk driver and you watch this video, I think at least from a European perspective, Europeans are more likely to get into your tuk-tuk if you do not approach them actually. So maybe that's a little bit of sales advice for you guys.
Well, the beautiful Siem Reap River. Now, a lot of times there's not much going on here. It's basically just, as you can see at the moment, it's like almost stagnant water. There's not much of a smell that comes off of it. I thought initially when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, that looks like it's not going to smell too good. but we went closer to it, and it's actually totally fine. It's a really beautiful place to come and hang out in. Now, at least from what I can see, now a lot of the locals, you'll see them hanging out along the river. When we arrived here, quite literally a day or two ago, we spotted a good few locals and also a lot of tourists. Now there's some street food vendors and things like that that will, especially during the night time, set up along this river too, and it's kind of like almost like the meeting point for a lot of the action that goes on in Siem Reap. So if you're meeting up with your friends or you're gonna head out to Pub Street, I don't know why you would, but if you're gonna meet up with them and go out to somewhere in Siem Reap, this is like the area where you're gonna do it. You just pick a spot along the river, and that's the place to do it. And it is very, very beautiful, honestly. It's a good looking river.
There's a lot of lotus growing in the river as well, and I'm sure once it's like blooming season or something like that, I'm sure the river will be filled with flowers, and that's probably something that you really want to see if you do come here during blooming season. I would love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very picturesque place, that's for sure, over here. Now there is, in parts, in different areas, depending on where you are, you will find like trash, you will find garbage and stuff like that. That's just kind of part and parcel of Southeast Asia in a lot of the countries. Unfortunately, part of Asia in general, part of a lot of the world actually nowadays, even most of Europe is turning into that type of a situation. But all in all, overall, so far, Siem Reap has been generally quite clean. So like you'll see the green spaces, the streets in general, they're very, very well kept, and the community around here definitely puts in an effort.
We haven't had any breakfast yet, and it's kind of lunchtime already, as it always is in our videos, so we decided to come to this beautiful place here. Oh, I think we're standing in the way.
Blocking the guy off. Yeah, let's go in and try some food. We haven't properly dived in and tried some food here in Siem Reap, so let's see what they have.
Yeah, kind of looks like from the outside they might have some baguettes or something like that. Let's have a look. Ooh, they might even have some fruit juice, even though that's plastic fruit. They might have some fruit juice or something like that. Oh, it is hot here. Authur.
So, they have a whole selection here, guys. Fried noodles, steamed rice. They've got luk lak, which we haven't actually tried yet, which looks very interesting. Steamed rice luk lak with beef. Sounds absolutely delicious. Got a whole bunch of different sandwiches here, which I believe are called num pang. And yeah, huge selection of stuff. I think what I'm going to do is get a nice fruit shake and a num pang sandwich for sure. Can I have the beef?
Yeah.
Beef num pang one?
Yeah.
And the pineapple shake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pineapple shake. And a beef with pate? Yeah. Bread with pate? And also pineapple shake. No sugar. Yeah.
No sugar, okay.
Yeah.
Orkun.
Okay.
The people here, like the general local people here in Cambodia, are incredible. Very, very hospitable, and the service everywhere that we've gone so far, especially when we were out in the homestay in Phuoc, unbelievable.
I'm very surprised about how much English people here actually speak. It doesn't really, like obviously with elderly people, sometimes it might be a little bit of a problem, but the majority of people have very good English, and I think that's very nice because we're trying to learn the language, but it's kind of difficult, so speaking a little bit of English here and there, it's really helpful.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult actually. The way that the alphabet is and the way that the script is, it's difficult. We know a couple basic words like Sutsadai, Orko and Bong, these types of things. Other than that, struggle. This is like sort of I suppose a picture version of what they're offering. So they have a ton of different options. Like I said, we haven't tried luk lak yet. It looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks like something that I typically would go for. They've got fried rice, and what we're going for today is this stuff here. So we're going to have what's known as num pang. Now hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I always don't. pronounce stuff correctly typically, but it looks good.
Yeah, my numpang already came out, and I kind of get the vibes that a numpang is sort of what is known in Vietnam as a banh mi. So like you sort of get a baguette type of a sandwich with some pate in there, and then you get different various types of meats, some pickles, and I even got like a thing of spring onions here, so you can just sort of assemble it as you go. And this looks looks really nice and really buttery. I don't know, I'm just gonna like chuck all of the meat that I got randomly in there. Put 2 of this. Yeah.
Nice pickles.
Gonna go in with some spring onion. Try and fold this queen up, which is not easy. And here we go. This is so good. This is exactly what I needed. And it does actually taste very similar to a banh mi. There's similar sort of meats in there, but it has the pate taste different. Pate is kind of a little porkier, where I feel like the pate in Vietnam is more livery, so it's more like a liver pate. This is more like a porky pate.
Porky pate.
Porky pate.
I'll give it a go. Oh, cool. Thank you. Taste off that is absolutely incredible. Wow. I love the pickles. Pickles add like a whole different dimension. I've got beef. Now it looks to be like stir-fried pieces of beef on the inside of the sandwich with some salad on the inside as well. I'm just gonna try it, raw dog it as it is. Let's do it.
It's so juicy that it's dripping out of the sandwich.
Yep. That is a sandwich right there. The beef is really thin, perfectly cooked as well, nicely seasoned. A lot of times in Asia, you'll go to a country and it won't be sort of like salty enough or seasoned enough. Here, that's hitting just right. And the bread is very, very fresh, very crispy too. I'm gonna go chase it with like a pickle here. Yeah, it doesn't get better than this, to be honest. And cost-wise, incredible. But this is gonna certainly fill us up, and it's not gonna hurt our pockets as well. Delicious. Crunch. The crunch off the bread gives you the texture. And the incredibly juicy meat on the inside too. It's good. Nice, fresh pineapple shake with no sugar. Yeah, that's good. A lot of times when you ask for no sugar in Asia as well, in particular, they still pack it up with sugar and it's still very, very sweet, but this is not the case. This is just straight up blended pineapple. Very, very refreshing. And they blended up some ice with it as well.
That's what I wanted to say. They blended up the ice with the pineapple directly, and it makes it kind of a little bit frothy. It's super nice.
Yeah. It's also something that's going to go towards filling you up as well. This is a very, very cost-effective sort of, I guess you could say, street food meal. Sandwich, 10 out of 10. Shake, very, very close to a 10 out of 10 as well. It's as simple as it gets. Very, very good. Oh.
So we paid a grand total of $6.50, which is very, very affordable for what we have just gotten. Sorry, I think I'm standing in the way of the ladies on the scooter. We have gotten 2 really tasty, very fresh sandwiches, 2 freshly made pineapple juices, pineapple smoothies, or whatever you want to call it, and a bottle of water. $6.50. I think that's very, very good value for your money, and it was super tasty as well. I'm very satiated now.
Oh, incredible! Yeah, I can barely walk. My stomach is like distended. I'm very happy with that. It's going to be a place I think that we're going to go to a bit more often as well. It's right close to, or relatively close to, an area where there's a gym. I saw there's a gym over close by to that place, so I think that's going to be probably our everyday sandwich fix from now on.
We just came from a relatively local area, I want to say, with where we had the Lumpang, and we're now going towards the absolute most touristy part, which is Pub Street. Now, I believe during the day the majority of bars and shops around here are obviously closed, so as you can see right now there's not a whole lot going on, but yeah, if it's the evening time it looks more like this, but very, very little locals, as you can see. White. So you do find, if you're looking for foreigners, if you're looking to go somewhere out, this is probably the place to come. We haven't really experienced too much of it yet, and it's usually not the scene really that we move in, but yeah, well, it's here. You can enjoy it if you want to.
Basically, it's like Soy Cowboy.
It's like Soy Cowboy, yeah.
You go to Bangkok, you gotta go to Soy Cowboy, Khao San Road, Sukhumvit. It's like if you're one of those, like if you go to those areas and you look for other Westerners when you travel, you're gonna get overpriced food, stupidly overpriced drinks. Just, I suppose overpriced is the word that I'm going for here.
Yeah.
But that's basically the situation here. Good morning.
Today.
But the people are still very, very friendly, and they will certainly do their best to accommodate any of your needs, but I would suggest you to not really spend much of your time around here. All of the outskirts of Siem Reap are much, much better.
Yeah, and here also you have a little bit of like a night market going on, I believe, and over there is the only 7-Eleven that you can find in direct proximity, and they have sort of a similar offering to the Thai 7-Eleven, if it's not even the exact same. So yeah, if you're looking for any of these types of things, this is the place to come.
Also, you'll be approached, like we said, constantly by tuk-tuk drivers, but only in this particular area you get approached by tuk-tuk drivers who also will resort to trying to sell you other nefarious things. Now, I'm not going to say the word
nefarious
because you're not allowed to speak freely exactly on this platform, but they'll try and sell you other stuff. If you know what I'm saying by that, you know what I'm saying by that. But they're trying to sell you other stuff. If you don't want the tuk-tuk, they'll try and get you on something else. Just so you know, just be aware. Don't get involved in it. You don't want that type of trouble. Hello.
Hello.
You don't want that type of trouble in Cambodia.
Yeah, I think going to a Cambodian prison is not on my 2024 bucket list. Hello. Oh my god. I'm really wondering if we can eat those clams that the people are eating here. I don't know, we've been in Asia for a little over 2 years, and I feel like our stomach system and immune system and all of that has been built up ever since, but I don't know if we're at the stage of eating sun-dried salt clams.
Not even close.
Probably not. I'm a little bit scared of it.
But there's tons to shop for here in Siem Reap. That's one thing I will say that I very much enjoy about this particular city. There's plenty going on, there's plenty to see and do, but it's also very, very laid back as well. Also around here, what you're gonna see is markets on top of markets. So this one here, I'm not too sure what the name of it is, but Pub Street is just down there, and basically stretched all the way down here is just market stuff. Now a lot of it is going to be like this type of like typical souvenir stuff, like hand knitted bags, different types of patterns, like the typical elephant stuff and stuff like that. And then you've got wooden stuff, handmade stuff as well. Very, very beautiful. Loads of different, oh, you've got like some Ganeshas, Buddhas, souvenirs. You've got patches to stick on your bag as well, just in case you want to show off. In case you've been to Liechtenstein. I don't know who would go there. Sweden, Poland and Italy. So all of the European countries. But yeah, this is like a little bit, I guess, of a taster of what you can see. But a lot of the stuff is going to be overpriced to hell, like to absolute hell. Like I saw a pair of sunglasses just there and they wanted $12, and that would be around $2 probably in local neighborhoods in anywhere else in Southeast Asia. So just keep that in mind, guys. Orkun?
Yeah.
No Orkun from her. She wasn't very happy that I told her stuff is really overpriced. Just don't fall for that stuff, guys.
I had inquired about a pair of sandals, and she wanted $8 for it, but I had bought them before for like similar pair. I had bought them before for like $2, maybe $1. So yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit overpriced. And she was like, special offer $6, and I'm like, it's still 6 times more than what they're supposed to pay.
Still stupidly overpriced, yeah. So just don't do it, guys. Even if you are on holidays and you just like, oh, I have a budget of 1,000 and I want to spend 1,000. Don't be stupid with your money. I understand supporting locals, that's quite literally all we have done for the last 3 years. We've spent money pretty much all over the world supporting local people, and every day we do it. But just don't be arrogant with your money, like, because that just drives prices up for other people and other expats that are living in the areas like this as well.
The difference though is if you're buying, I mean, it's $6, it's not the end of the world. But with those $6, I could be supporting 3 people or 1 person. So I rather support several different people, if you know what I mean.
100%. Now we're making our way in this direction. We want to see something. It's actually another temple, believe it or not. So Siem Reap, famously known for Angkor Wat, of course. But there's plenty of other incredibly cool temples all over this city that don't get enough exposure. So we're gonna go and check one of those out right now.
This part is the part that you want to show.
Oh yeah.
Now, we made our way to Wat Damnak. And you might be asking yourself why we would want to go to Wat Damnak. And the answer is very, very simple. Online it says that you can find a lot about the local arts and the local culture, so Khmer culture on these grounds. And that's why we wanted to walk around a little bit and check it out. And the entire entrance on both sides, sorry, is lined with frangipani, so you can imagine the nice scent of it all. It's just like one big perfumated Wat ground, basically temple ground, and it's so beautiful. So today all of this here is the center for Khmer studies, so maybe you can learn something, maybe some, oh yeah, you can see a lot of kids there in the distance. I believe maybe they come here for after school curriculum to learn a little bit more about their local culture. And a lot here also seems to be sort of in renovation. This temple building here looks like it's a little bit older, but it seems to be worked on, which I love to see.
Seems to be like a large educational center inside of a Buddhist temple. So like plenty of young people. And that's incredible to see that the young people are hanging around in Cambodia. So a lot of countries that have very, very dark pasts, places that we visited before, places like Albania in Europe, very, very dark past, very complicated, recent history. A lot of the young people are getting out as quickly as possible. I see a lot of young people still around here, or at least in Siem Reap so far, and I think that's a very good sign. People still have faith in the country and in the country's history, and places like this are working towards building a better future, I think, for Cambodia.
Also, our previous host in the farm stay in Phuoc, he was talking about how during Khmer Rouge time a lot of the schools were sort of destroyed, and the majority of education that you might be able to find were in the temples, and they were done by the monks. So maybe this is sort of tapping into that part of Khmer history as well.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely stunning around here. It's very, very peaceful, very quiet. I kind of feel like we are the two people who are being loud right now. Oh, there's a doggy over there. I hope he's a friendly one. And wow, 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 wow. How stunning is this? The woodwork and the paint job is just so beautiful. My God. This entire area is just jaw-droppingly beautiful. Oh, did the doggy just walk past you without saying anything?
Yeah.
Did you say good morning or something?
Yeah. Such beautiful, even the dogs around here. Like there's quite a few street dogs around Siem Reap, unfortunately, but a lot of them are looked after by restaurants and stuff like that. So yeah, the people in Cambodia it's the number one thing for me so far that stands out in terms of just they're very welcoming overall. They're very, very happy just to see foreigners exploring their country, and yeah, it's a very warm feeling. And places like this temple as well, like amplify it as, to like the next level.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. All of the temple grounds usually have some burials on the ground as well. So also what you see in the distance there are some burial grounds, but usually they're not open like this. It's sort of a little bit odd to see, because obviously the other two have like a covering. The covering seems to be missing, and there's only like sand on the inside. Very, very interesting. A little bit scary maybe, but interesting.
Wow, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say these types of temples are just not exactly appreciated enough. I've never seen this, and I never knew that this existed here in the center of Siem Reap City. Okay, so there's no better place, I think, than to wrap up our first impressions of Siem Reap than right here. So yeah, this place, I can see why it is so popular. It is, I think, the most frequently visited place in Cambodia in terms of a city. Now obviously Phnom Penh is up there because of the international airport access too, but I think Siem Reap, in terms of overall volume of visitation, I think it's number one in Cambodia, and I certainly can see why. It's very, very laid back, super chill place. And I think if you understand the layout of the city, it's a great place to certainly spend a few days exploring.
It's very, very interesting here as well that it's like, I believe it's the second largest city of the country,
Yep.
but it's very sort of slow living. Obviously no skyrise, no skyscraper buildings because of Angkor Wat, so nothing is supposed to be higher than Angkor Wat. And I think that's really nice. Like it gives a different sort of charm to this place. And the temple grounds that we're currently on, so Wat Damnak, seems to be very beloved by the locals. You see loads of people around here sort of having lunch and enjoying the time with their family. You see loads of school children play together, maybe learn a little bit around here as well. And yeah, just a beautiful place to come. It seems to be sort of the main access point for foreigners, of course, because of Angkor Wat, but also because of the city, for sure.
Yeah, it's a solid destination. In terms of like the actual country of Cambodia, I think if you want to like learn about the culture of Cambodia, you want to understand exactly what it is that's happening, it is a good place. I think there's certainly going to be more interesting cities that we stumble across along our way, and we will obviously let you know when we find them. But for now, Siem Reap is certainly a cool place to check out, and I would highly recommend you guys come here for at least 2 or 3 days just to get accompanied with the good vibes of this place.
Exactly.
But for now, my name is Luke.
My name is Naomi.
We're the Tiamat Explorers.
And this is your reminder to keep exploring.
See you guys in the next Cambodian adventure.
Au kun for watching.
Au kun.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.